Welcome to Monday Morning Dharma on December 8th. Thank you for joining us. Why don't we go ahead and settle into a comfortable meditation posture? Please take care to ensure that your spine is straight and relaxed. A straight spine facilitates unrestricted flow of our internal energy winds, sometimes called prana, sometimes called chi. Our mouth is closed, our jaw is relaxed. And if you haven't already done so, please go ahead and softly close your eyes. Balanced, grounded, stable, like a mountain with ancient wisdom awareness. And we can gently transition into meditation on the inner body. Please be the silent observer of sensations that may start in your hands and your feet in the form of a tingling, perhaps a lightness, perhaps a heaviness, perhaps a pulsation. No analysis is necessary. No interpretation is necessary. All that is asked of you is to silently observe and allow a more tranquil, awakened state of awareness to emerge. I'd like you to please bring to mind someone in your life, someone with whom you are close, who is experiencing emotional suffering, physical suffering, or both. I'd like you now to imagine that this person is seated in the space in front of you, facing you, with their eyes at the level of your eyes. Compassion is a loving wish to free another from their suffering. Of all virtuous states of mind, compassion is supreme. So I'd like you now to please just rest in your heart of compassion. How wonderful it would be if this person could be completely free of that which ails them. More than anything else in the entire world, without expectation of an outcome, I wish for this now. Please don't think about compassion. Become compassion. to aid you in your meditation, you may find it beneficial to bring your awareness to the region of your chest. The region of your chest is the seat, the SEAT, seat of your innate compassion, the true nature of who you are. How wonderful it would be if this person could be completely free of their affliction. More than anything else in the entire world, I wish for this now. So powerful, pure, and unconditional is your compassionate wish that light rays start to radiate from your body in all directions, including into the space in front of you. This light touches the person who is your object of meditation and envelops them completely. As a result of your compassionate giving, there's a marked change in the appearance of the person seated in the space in front of you. Their color is better. There's a look of deep, deep relief, as though the weight of the world has been lifted from their shoulders. They are contented. They are at peace. They are completely free. You can know that your own peace and freedom are not separate from the peace and freedom of the person seated in the space in front of you. So for the last couple of moments of our meditation, I'd like you to please just rest and share in this peace and freedom with the person seated in the space in front of you. Now, very gently, very gently, please redirect your awareness. Become aware again of your physical body and allow your breathing to become less shallow. Taking deeper and deeper breaths, become aware again of the garments of clothing resting on the surface of your physical body. Become aware again of your surroundings inside the room that you're occupying. Deeper and deeper breaths, becoming aware again of the world that exists outside of the room that you're occupying. And we dedicate all of the merit, all of the positive energy from this morning's meditation to world peace. May the human beings of this world soon come to develop reverence and respect for the natural world and care for the natural world in a kind, loving way. And may we also have reverence and respect for the animals who make their homes in the natural world and have reverence and respect and loving care for these sentient beings as well. Completely fill up your belly and lungs with air, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes and bring your meditation to an end. Thank you, and welcome back. So, a friend of mine was telling me about kind of a little kerfuffle he had with his beloved this past weekend. And um, he said that when she's out of sorts, this is him telling me the story, when she's out of sorts, that she has a tendency, how did he put it, to split hairs over things that don't really matter. Yeah, to split hairs over things that don't really matter. And he said, but what he realized was that it's not really about the things she's splitting hairs over. There's sort of a more substantial thing that's bothering her. That's sounded true. Sounds kind of true basically for me for every kind of disagreement or kerfuffle that I have with friends and acquaintances and strangers, you know. And how wonderful it would be if we could always respond to people, to others with that recognition. Yeah, it's not really about how I washed the dishes or that I didn't put them away properly or, you know, how I'm driving or how they're driving or anything. There's something more substantial there. And meet that person not from a place of irritation or frustration, but with compassion, you know, with compassion that something, you know, try to maybe not, depending on how much confidence we have in our skill level in terms of trying to find out what's really behind what's going on. Maybe that's advisable, maybe not. Maybe it's just enough to recognize, oh, there's something more substantial going on, and I've been there. I know what it's like. and I wish for this person to be free of that difficulty, whatever it is. Yeah. So I want to kind of give just a little bit of a Buddhist primer or a reminder for some of us for a couple of reasons. One is to help us kind of get ready for our new theme when after the first of the year, starting with our studies of the new meditation handbook and the 21 Lam Rim meditations. That's one reason, kind of about context setting, really. But the other is because it will give me an opportunity to tell you about a fascinating story that I just heard. At least I find it fascinating. You can be the judge. Um, basic Buddhist view. Basic Buddhist view is that the happiness and suffering of future lives is more important than the happiness and suffering of this one life. Why is that? Because our future lives are countless, are countless. If there is no definitive beginning or end to our consciousness, then that means that there are many, many lives, countless lives to be lived in the future. So it's wise and advisable, the sutras say, for us to concern ourselves and live our lives in such a way that we recognize, that we sort of prepare for our future lives, um, rather than just like party like rock stars in this lifetime, and whatever, what I do or say doesn't matter. It's of no consequence. Yeah. I had a friend, I haven't thought about this in a long time. I have a friend who I haven't talked to her for years, but back when we were younger, she was a partier for sure, and partied pretty hard, and she didn't, no debauchery involved. She just like partied, right? Didn't really harm anybody with her partying except maybe herself. And like she would, go into the wee hours of the morning, like day after day, night after night, I guess I should say. And whenever I or somebody else would say, Jill, like maybe get a little rest, get some sleep, should say, I'll sleep when I'm dead. And I just thought to myself, no, I don't think you will, And it's not to disparage anybody else's lifestyle, but it's just, it's a short window of opportunity for us. It's a short window of opportunity for us to accumulate merit, purify negative karmic potentials that we have, um, and to kind of prepare, which is actually basic Buddhist view, excuse me, basic Buddhist intention is to use this life to prepare for our future lives. Um, We do that. I think we do that in this lifetime. I mean, I think everything I'm talking about, basic Buddhist view, basic Buddhist intention, relates to future lives, kind of like after this body ceases. Yeah, and thus this life ceases. But I think it can be applied to kind of lives within this one continuum of life. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, we do prepare for our future lives, or maybe some of us do, when we're in our younger years, if we have the wisdom, we whatever younger years means to you, right? To each of us individually, like we might in our younger years, like have a good healthy diet, and get good rest and hydrate to kind of prepare for our later years, so the vehicle will be well maintained. We do things like save for retirement, right? And, put away nest eggs and stuff like this because we recognize that, especially in our younger years, that there are a lot more years to live potentially than this one short year, partying like it's 1999, nothing else matters, At some level, we sort of prepare for our future lives already within the continuum of this one life, this current life. So, anyways, basic Buddhist view, basic Buddhist intention. So, that sort of begs the question, and I talk about this all the time, frequently, we might think to ourselves, yeah, preparing for future lives, that makes a lot of sense, and I would apply myself to that if I were sure that future lives are a thing, right? Some of us just know with absolute certainty. Some of us might be kind of on the fence. And I have different examples that I've shared with you guys before. But one that I haven't thought about recently are child prodigies, just in terms of finding evidence or proof of past lives and future lives. Child prodigies. I read just this morning about the youngest person to ever be ranked in like the national chess, like chess, the game of chess. The youngest person to ever be ranked in the international ranking of chess competition, chess competitors, whatever, 3 years and 7 months old. Yeah. This boy is ranked as a chess and how is he ranked? Because he defeated certain people in chess contests. They cited the ones that maybe 22, 23-year-old young people. This 3-year-old beat them in chess. His brain isn't even developed, A 3-year-old's brain isn't even, it's in the development process, but it's not fully developed. I guess it's consciousness that is fully developed, at least for this young person. The consciousness is developed. I mean, what else can it be? Rhetorical question. For me, it's like, what else can it be that like he played chess in a future previous life and just brought it forward with him, So if past lives are a thing, then future lives must be. So yeah, okay, I'm on board. Let's prepare for future lives because they're countless and this is just one. So 9 o'clock on the nose. There you have it. The three-year-old is in India, lives in India somewhere. So just amazing stuff. Okay. Thanks for being here, you guys. Have a great day. Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, you're most welcome.
Thanks, Jeff.
Bye-bye.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.